Hi there, let's read The Pros and Cons of Being a Frog. Look at all those numbers. Camille and I are quite different. Maybe that's why I like her so much. Camille loves math so much that some days she only talks in numbers. So far, I've worked out that 23 is yes and 17 is no. So when she starts singing her 6 times tables, I know it's time for a snack. When I first met Camille, I was dressed as a cat. Dodie would bark at me the whole way to school and the whole way back home again. It was more attention than I wanted. After watching Dodie chase me day in and day out for exactly 11 days, Camille called me over and whispered in my ear. She suggested I try another animal. Finding the right animal for me wasn't easy. It was Camille who finally gave me the idea of a frog. Frogs are not solitary creatures. I decided I needed a friend. Camille agreed to help. 23 means yes, remember? At first, we worked well together. Camille did the measuring and I did the sewing, but putting together her costume was taking a little longer than expected. Camille started singing her 6 times tables. 1 plus 6 is 6. 1 times 6 equals 6. 2 times 6, 3 times 6, 4 times 6 equals 24. 5 times 6, 6 times 6 equals... I was getting confused with the measurements. Camille just wouldn't stand still. She sang her 6 times tables louder and louder. Suddenly, without thinking, I shouted, "Stop wriggling!" See all the 17s? Remember 17 meant no? Camille picked up her bag and her stopwatch and went home. 17s. Without Camille, I felt alone. I decided to write a list. The pros and cons of being a frog. Pros. 1. My friend Camille gave me the idea. 2. I'm less likely to be chased by a dog. 3. Being in a frog costume makes me feel brave. Cons. 1. Not everyone loves wearing a frog costume as much as I do. 2. If you start getting bossy about your frog costume, then your friend will get up and leave. 3. A frog is not a solitary creature, so it's no fun for a frog if his friend gets up and leaves. I went to find Camille to say sorry. Everywhere I looked, all I could see were numbers, but no Camille. Just as I was about to give up, I heard a sound coming toward me. Flip, flap, flip, flap, flip, flap. I'm sorry, I said. Camille and I are quite different. That's why I like her so much. And that was called The Pros and Cons of Being a Frog, a lovely book about friendship and numbers. I hope you enjoyed that and that you subscribe and come back often. And I'll see you next time here on Stories with Grandma.